Man United's pursuit of Manuel Ugarte has been served a significant boost after Paris Saint-Germain and Benfica have finally agreed a deal for JOAO NEVES. This is a big step into United's pursuit of one of the most important players the club needs as we go ahead in this summer transfer window. My name is Webb. Welcome to the United of Sport. Here is a breaking update that certainly concerns Man United. Of course, for many of you who felt that Man United should have signed Joao Neves as the first priority, you could be feeling a bit disappointed. I'll tell you why. The details of this deal for me were a bit affordable for Manchester United, to be honest, in all fairness, because they have agreed on 60 million euros. That is the base fee, 60 million euros fixed fee plus 10 million euros in add-ons, and then loaned Renato Sanchez to Benfica. That's the deal the two parties have agreed. Right now, they're exchanging, of course, documents and everything. The medical has been set for this week. Now, what that means is that most likely before the end of this week, Joao Neves is going to be unveiled as a PSG player. Now, when that happens, immediately Manchester United will now proceed and put in an official bid for Manuel Ugarte. So that's why this is a big update concerning Manchester United. But I was speaking about the details of the deal, and it's not like I'm crying over spilled milk. I'm just emphasizing and saying that if Man United had the audacity to go ahead and bid, this boy could have joined Man United because they did not really meet the buyout clause that they claim he had, about 120 million euros. This is not what they paid. They're paying nearly half of that and loaning back a player who played there before. In fact, it is said that Renato Sanchez feels that his career will be, resurrected if he goes back to Benfica. That's the feeling between both parties, but that's far from the point. The point for me is United could have taken that bid, such a bid, and added on a player like probably well, maybe Scott or whoever. We could get a player we could loan there, unless maybe all our players refuse to go there. But the reality is, this wasn't the hardest of deals. But again, when you've got the right negotiators, you can get the best deals. But here is now what we are supposed to expect. So Manuel Ugarte, who has been waiting for Manchester United for so long, is finally going to be getting what he's been waiting for because United will now table an official bid. The expectation is that when when Joao Neves arrives, United tables their bid. PSG and Man United will then start doing business because PSG needed to open up because, like I've been saying, clubs always take it one deal at a time. So this Joao Neves deal has been the most important deal for Paris Saint-Germain. They have got all these other deals they wanted to chase, but they even shut out the talks for Victor Osimhen with Napoli because they were dragging them somewhere they didn't want. They wanted to focus on this youngster who is believed to be a very important player for Luis Enrique in what he's trying to build with Paris Saint-Germain. So Man United lose out, I should say, on there should have been first priority of a midfielder, but also at the same time they are getting a big boost in pursuing the man now that United has been waiting for. So, like I've been saying, this week is meant to be a week of so much for Manchester United. A lot is bound to happen at Manchester United, and of course, we are beginning to see a lot more of it. We are beginning to see it unfold one after the other. Beautiful stuff there. Drop down a comment and let me know how you feel about this. Because this deal, honestly, is opening way for a lot to happen for Manchester United. This deal is opening way for floodgates of deals for Manchester United. But at hindsight, guys, whereas where we all like Joao Neves because he's a generational talent, he's a player you wanted to see close to Kobe Maino. The reality is Manuel Ugarte is a better option for Manchester United than Joao Neves, if you think about it critically, because the style of Manuel Ugarte favors Kobe and Bruno more than the style of Joao Neves because Ugarte is a ground fighter, he's a minister, he's a destroyer, if I would call it that. And that is the kind of player Manchester United needs. That's the kind of player who can allow Eric Ten Hag to play in a single pivot. I don't think with Joao Neves, Eric Ten Hag would comfortably play a single pivot. Then he would probably be forced to play Kobe next to Joao Neves, more not closer to Bruno as a second eight or close to a 10. My feeling is the signing of Manuel Ugarte releases Kobe more and together with Bruno, because Ugarte can cover bigger ground with more discipline. He can fall into balls a little bit like he's the better version of the best Amrabat we saw at United, the Amrabat against Man City in the FA Cup final. Ugarte is a better version of that Amrabat. That's the kind of Amrabat who will allow Kobe to get away together with Bruno, and they score the kind of goal that Kobe scored in that game. We can see a lot more of those because Kobe and Bruno wouldn't have to be so much worried about retracking and defending because they have got a beast in the number 6 position who will always be there to cover most of the ground. So for me, at hindsight, my feeling is it was probably good riddance us not going for Joao Neves. It was probably good riddance. And in any case, he's too expensive for a club that is looking to really build. We don't want to be spending on very expensive players unless you're uh, Kobe or Lenny Yoro in a defender, but you've got Kobe Maino in the midfield. You don't need to be spending so much money or so much and giving away so much for one single 19-year-old kid. Never mind how good he is. So, on hindsight, I think for me, this is going to be good business for Manchester United. So, expect more updates from me in the coming days. But also, West Ham United have really, really, really made it clear they are coming for Aaron Wan-Bissaka. At least they have convinced Wan-Bissaka that they will be a good project for him. So Wan-Bissaka as well is waiting with a bit of excitement, I should say, for West Ham United to come and table their bid. And again, in the coming days, we should be hoping for a double swoop for Man United to get both Mathis Delete and Nusair Mazraoui. So again, a lot is expected to happen when it comes to those defensive areas, the defense department of Manchester United. Guys, the idea for Ineos is may probably latest by end of next week for them to have a proper, fully constituted squad that will then be presented proper to Eric Ten Hag for him to start working with, so that, in fact, by the time we return from preseason, the hope is that there will be, I think, more new signings than of those we want to bring in. Most of them will be in Delete, Mazraoui, and Ugarte. It's very possible, by the way, that by the time we're done with the preseason, all these guys are in at Manchester United. So it's indeed, raining deals at Manchester United, and you love to see it because I'll tell you, I will struggle to recall a time Manchester United sealed so many early deals like we are about to. Beautiful stuff happening for the biggest football club in the world. Thank you so much for always liking our videos, sharing them, and commenting on them. That was just a breaking update for you. I will be back later with more, of course, to wrap up this day, which I expect again to have more big news coming up shortly. So keep it here. Turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss any update when it comes. Peace, love, and harmony.